I saw the program, AI analytics combined with the business aspect, and it was just a perfect fit. So I applied, and now I'm here. Very happy with my choice, and yeah, it's for all the questions. I think you can ask me later, but it was definitely a good way to go for a transition, I would say. Yuling?
Hi, my name is Yuling. I'm currently enrolled in global management in ESMT, and I'm also the first year student. I want to talk about how I first got to know ESMT. It's actually one of my seniors. She told me that ESMT is quite a great school, and that's small but delicate, and that's how I first know about it. And later on, I did some investigations, and I found it's quite a good choice for me to go for. And about why I choose global management, I would say coming from a finance background, I realized I actually wanted to kind of toward a broader management skills rather than specializing purely in just finance. So I think MGM program kind of the structure of the program and the curriculum aligns my goal to the kind of working in a global teams. So each year, each term, we can have 7 core courses per semester, and this kind of sound intense, but they kind of designed to cover all all range of hard and soft skills. So you're not just memorizing theories, but you are really applying those in the diverse settings. I think MGM program offer the flexibility to explore more way of learning, and also I would say there is a huge benefits of MGM is that our students can pursue exchange. We have the biggest exchange school list, and we can choose the exchange freely. Not only the first term of the second year, we can also choose the second term. So it's quite flexible, and we also have much more programs with the exchange than MAAI and IE. So if you want to go for exchange, MGM is kind of the top list you can go for.
Uh, so there are a few questions there, and I want to answer one. The first one that popped up about like how like inclusive and how queer friendly ESMT and just Berlin in general is. I'd say Berlin is incredibly inclusive and incredibly accepting, I'd say. And so is ESMT. There is a very strong commitment to inclusivity and very strong social values. So I'd say there's consistently there's also courses as well. So it's a very strong focus on the university to ensure that the personal values of the students and university are aligned, so they choose relatively well in that sense. Because I haven't heard there being any conflict at ESMT. We've been here for around 6 months, but I haven't heard of like a fight or anything, or any disagreement really breaking out, except for maybe like I don't know, the standard stuff in like study groups where everybody has different ideas. But even then, the facilitation and mediation is very, very good. So I'd say that's pretty nice. And the other one that was Jean towards you, that's actually also something that I was also interested in what asking you was, so like what's like coming with AI, becoming like a business school, or like what was your background more or less in that, or do you want to switch? Because yeah, it's an interesting thing to have MAI at or Masters AI in like a big business school.
So I did my bachelor's in business administration actually, and I had no prior or I had no other experience for it. Just in general, I was myself interested in programming, and I did already do some programming stuff before, but coming into the masters, you don't need any prior experience. You will get data camp. I don't know if you know that site. It's where you can do courses, get certificates, and they give you free access to all the courses. And there you will prepare, get to know Python, tidyverse, everything you need to know for the first step. And then the courses are really well structured, so you learn everything you need to know on the way. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's like an easy, just yeah, I'm going to class, we code a little bit. No, it's really like hands-on. It's fast paced, but even when some of my colleagues have no prior experience, they never felt like they were behind or not getting something. So everything is very well explained, but in a sense not slow paced that you feel like you don't make any progress. It's a good middle way, and it's a very technical masters as well. So the business side is just an extra. So they teach you how to interpret all your results, and then actually to communicate that to people that don't know anything about it, and which is what you encounter in a corporate setting. For example, if the manager you're talking to has no idea about coding or analysis, you need to explain your steps. How do you get to your results and what they actually mean, right? So that's mainly the business aspect of it, and everything else is just technical and very in depth, but also very practical, and not everything is just theory, but a lot is just coding while doing it, doing projects, and then final exams as well.
There are another question which was about the German language. So ESMT is all English language, so you don't need German for the studies themselves. And honestly, in Berlin either, it's a very, at least as far as German cities go, I would say Berlin is the most English speaking. Like I don't really speak German, maybe like A1, A2, but I've been here for around 6 months. I haven't had any problems. At maximum, either maybe in like some smaller offices, sometimes they might not speak English, but generally they have at least one person in every single store or every single organization which knows good English and is going to be able to help you. So unless you just want to like fit in or live or I don't know, go outside of like into the more rural areas, you don't really need English. Same with like if you go to Frankfurt, Munich, or like any of the bigger cities, generally they're like very English friendly.
Yeah, I'd like to answer the questions. According to the exchange, I would say actually in MGM, an exchange program goes like this. So you do your exchange either in the first term of the second year, either in the second term, and it's not compulsory. So you can actually choose to apply for it or not. And we have a big list of like the partnership school you can go for, and actually, there is a semester related to internship, and this is actually coming for our first year students right now. So we are going to do our first internship from April to September. So you're going to do this first year, and after that, you can choose to exchange or not. So it actually depends on your kind of personal choice. And if you want experience more and you want to fill in your background with more international background and experience, you can go for exchange. But if you want to develop more kind of put yourself in the working kind of extent, so you can do actually not going for the exchange and to do some working student or doing some internship here. So it actually depends on you. And for the second questions, I would say since you have the mechanical engineering background, that's actually quite good. And I think it's totally not a problem if you want to make the transition to product management or project management. So I think the important part is about your kind of how do you transfer the skills you already earned from your past experience, from your bachelor or from your past kind of working experience or internship experience. How do you transfer those experience or skills to the project manager or product management. So that's the core part. And I think MGM, we have lots of students from different backgrounds. We have students like you studying engineering. We also have some students studying biology. So it's quite diverse based. And we are kind of, it's not a problem for the background. If you have anything you want to go for, and just go for it. So it won't be a problem.
I want to actually add one thing onto that. Like, obviously I'm not studying MGM, but just there's a lot of good like networking events going on at ESMT all the time, because ESMT is as a organization is not just an educational organization. There's always like different events, conferences, and so on going on. And a lot of the time it's open to students as well, so you can register. Like this month, there was I think it was the Mercedes-Benz CEO was the one that was here. I think, yeah, the Mercedes-Benz CEO was here. Like they have those type of panels or networking events a lot. Last year, when we first came to ESMT, within 2 months, that was this huge conference that was being held. And there were all these industry experts. At that time, only that was an event that opened for second years, that wasn't for first years. But there was like Macron was there, the BlackRock CEO was there, and those type of stuff happened a lot. So even if, for example, you don't directly go to work at an automobile company, which generally is not a problem, there's a lot of those coming here as well, you have like a very good opportunity to establish a network and like find yourself in the either that industry or like a new industry that you're going for. So, and actually, Yuling, do you happen to be taking the German language classes? Because I'm not taking those yet. There was one question about that as
Yeah,
well.
of course. For the German class, actually, we don't need to pay for school, and the school actually we would have a language school which named GLS. And for MGM students, you can go there. We have once a week German language course, and if you're already fluent in German, you can also choose Spanish. Like Spanish or Chinese, we have kind of different language that you can study for, and we don't need to pay any for that. And actually, school already paid this for us, so yeah, just go for it. And if you're not from MGM, you can also like apply for those language course and go for it. So you always have the space to learn, and don't worry about that.
Perfect. One question was also if there's any advice for the application process. I would say don't think about it too much. There are so the background, the bachelor background of our students is very diverse. So it doesn't matter what your background is. What they focus on is your motivation. So really think about why do you want to do this program? What is your aspiration for the future with it, and how does it fit into your life, right? And how you plan to utilize it. That was for me the point they emphasized most about, and I also wrote the most about in my motivation letter, for example, because yeah, they just want to see that you're motivated, that you are actually willing to put in the work, and that you that you're not coming here just because you want to do a master's, but you want to come here with a purpose in mind.
I would also add on to that, try to do it as early as possible. I procrastinated too long and I missed the early bird deadline, early bird discount. And why not? Like that's just
Always
basically
good to
free.
say that.
So yeah. And now actually this is a question that I'm really looking forward to, because I'm really passionate about this topic. Student clubs at ESMT. Oh boy, are there student clubs at ESMT. Uh, I think I'm in every single one almost, but we have like sports clubs, we have culture clubs, we have like investment clubs, consulting club, where there is a student conference that's organized every year. There's like a bunch, like a lot of them. There's a TEDx club as well, a Net Impact club. Like there's way too many for me to be able to list. But yeah, so no matter what, and plus you can create your own as well. But generally there's a lot. It's pretty open, and you can if because it's a business school. Generally, every 2 3 years, every like leadership completely changes. So if you're really passionate about a topic, you can become leadership within like a semester or two. Like I became some leadership, and the investment club because I was really, really passionate about that side. And yeah, and also they're like supporters. It's not just student clubs, they're supporters from ESMT as well. They generally have like their own events, like or the Net Impact generally has like a lot of big events as well. They had the like sustainability chief from Google here as well. And the investment club also has a bunch of events. DFS, which is Digital Future Summit, is like just a big event that you just plan for a year with get partners and so on. Like there's Google, usually Amazon, Deutsche Bank, stuff like that. I think there's Deutsche. I know Deutsche Bank is going to be speaking this year at the conference, and I think Telecom and a few others as well. So yeah, I'd say the clubs here are plentiful and they have quite a lot of backing, so to say. And yeah, the first was surprised about the Mercedes-Benz CEO. I'll be honest, I recommend not to get starstruck when you're at ESMT because like those types of high profile events happen like at least once a month. So you have some major CEO speaking at a panel or a conference at least once a month. So you kind of have to be ready for it and be ready because those seats generally also get like picked up really quickly. And if you try to sign up at last minute, there won't be any room left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really I would say a really chill environment every time. So you see yeah, CEOs that have one of the busiest schedules you can have, and they're so human-like basically, so not in their work persona, but rather in a personal setting. And this allows you to ask them questions they would normally not answer, or wouldn't go in detail about, which I find is very yeah, very cool, because you get an insight into their lives that you normally wouldn't get if you watch a movie or an interview or a video about the company, about them. Yeah, that's really nice. And then another question was, how easy is it for someone to move from engineering to management consulting? I think that, so if you have the engineering part already down, and then you do the management MSc, Yulin can tell you more about it. But I would say your chances are very good, especially if you go into consulting that also combines engineering and management, for example. It's a very good field you can industry you can go into now, and as Alex already said, you meet so many companies, so many consulting companies here, that you can always connect, and it gives you like this foot into the door, right? So you can just text someone, and it helps you a lot. And these consulting firms are very present here at ESMT as well.
And I'll add on to that I was a software engineer, so I think I can relate a little bit to that. And I would say it's a lot easier than it like initially seemed to me as well. But yeah, it's not that difficult, especially if you know what you're talking about in your previous field. We had our career fair event recently, and after that, a bunch of the companies that were doing tech consulting or like needed technology people who can bridge that side generally reached out to me without a lot of fuss. Because if you're good at your previous field and you're especially in consulting, you need to be a bit more how to say like extroverted. You need to have that ability to also connect and understand the client's requirements. But if you have that, absolutely no problem. I would
Yeah.
say a little bit about housing. So there's in the city itself, it's like it's manageable, I'll say. If you sit down and you actually spend effort, you can get it. But if you just Google, apartments in Berlin, it might be a bit more difficult because obviously it's like a big metropolitan area. A lot of people want to live here, especially if you want to be near the center. That's going to be a bit more difficult. But I would say definitely not impossible, or not like super difficult either. Because I was also currently I am in ESMT apartments. So there's like a block of apartments which ESMT has and rents out to students 5 minutes away from the campus. but I was planning to move to a different place starting next semester. So I've been looking around myself actually, and I would say not like every single day, a good deal pops up. You just need to be vigilant and you need to be fast when it pops up. Otherwise, like, but if you actually do that, it's not that difficult. Like I got an incredibly good deal today, and I'm just following up on that. So yeah, absolutely possible.
Yeah, and I want to answer the question that you have the Bachelor in International Relations, and that's totally fine. Let's be honest, we actually have one of my classmates, he's doing history in his bachelor. So it's absolutely not a problem. And I would say ESMT more focused on the whole profile you are. So it's not only about your major, your grade, or any small aspect that can make the decision to the if you got offer or not. We are looking for the whole profile you are. So don't really worry about that. And for the quantitative skills, I think actually for global management, I think it's total manageable. And we have actually this kind of course named corporate finance and statistics, but our professors are like really break those theories or calculations into detail. So they would teach you really in detail. So don't worry about it. And I would say also our professor would ask before the class, like how many of you have this like statistics background or like quantitative background. So we would see according to the students, like if they learn this or not, and professor would, according to that, to make the course or the class become more clear, and you can always reach out to them. And since we are not really big group, so it's great for like even the students can communicate with each other, and you can always reach out to the professor. They are not like kind of out of the class, they are not reachable. No, it's not like that. So you can always write email and always reach out to classmates, to professor, to our student service. They are always there for you. Yeah.
Okay, the next question about study rooms. So at ESMT, we have a lot of study rooms. So there's going to be each cohort, like MBAs have their own separate floor with their study rooms. MSCs, we have our own separate floor with our study rooms. There's like separate seminar rooms as well. If, you know, maybe a bunch of people want to get together or do like a club activity. There's lounges, like there's the mini lounge with like a bunch of music equipment. There's the foosball tables. There's yeah, what Jean is in right now. That's the quiet boxes basically. So you can those are also on campus, and you can get in, and it's pretty quiet. And there's basically like a voice isolation and a bunch study. We also have like a brand new student lounge as well, which is really, really nice. Like a few days ago, a bunch of guys were there. There's like football tables, a bunch of games, a huge TV, and good seating. So they just got together after classes, after they did like their homework, exams, so on and so forth, and just put on football on the big screen and just were watching and relaxing. You know, it's a very, 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 very chill environment. But the thing is, if like after class, obviously everybody goes, like absolutely everybody goes to the study rooms. So if you really want to go to the study room, like late after classes, it's better if you go a bit early because as soon as classes finish, everybody goes to the study rooms, and you might not be able to get it in time.
Yeah, or of course you know someone and just join them in the study room. That happens a lot.
Oh yeah, of course. And about the network panel, so most of the time there's like a separate website that we have, which is for the events. It's called Handshake, and it's usually open to everybody. There's like very rarely there will be an event that's just for like either just the MBAs or just MAAI or just one group. But that's only happens when the person is like incredibly specialized. For example, if there was like a big, I don't know, CEO of a venture capital company, if they were coming, then that would probably be not exclusively, but definitely preference to like my course, innovation entrepreneurship. Next one, I guess, just to back the relation of VCs and startups. So ESMT has got Bali Berlin, which is ESMT's own like VC basically. It has its own accelerator program. It has its own incubator program. It does venture consulting. We, as a part of our course, had also participated in the accelerator part as well by helping the basically startup founders with consulting and so on. And it's a mandatory, not mandatory, but I have a choice in my master's that if I want to, I can either do the internship or I can do the summer entrepreneurship program, sustainable innovation program, and then the next accelerator. The next accelerator is like an actual accelerator. If you get in and you go through and you're one of the startups that is selected, you get funding, and the Valley network is pretty big, pretty strong, especially in Germany and Europe. But in general, you have a lot of support. If you want to create your startup, that's like a very good way to do it. And Paris, which is the head of the Valley Innovation, or Valley VC, is very chill. He's usually on campus sometimes he's out during working. You can find them like at the university football club sometimes playing. So you have a very good opportunity to network with them. But like he's not a student. He's like full-time in the Valley program. And I'm pretty sure like Valley's I don't remember the exact names, but sorry, the exact numbers, but it's like several hundreds of millions, I think even a billion under management at this point, I think. Or at least like in valuations. So it's a pretty good environment. Plus you're in Berlin. There's so many VCs here in Berlin. Probably the best city for startups you can have in Germany. Maybe with EU, there's a bit more competition with being like Rotterdam or so on, but definitely in Germany, the best startup city.
Perfect. So the question about living expenses and how difficult it is to get a part-time job. So living expensive, I wouldn't say that Berlin is especially expensive. If you cook your own food, you know, the grocery stores, there's some cheaper discounters. I personally go to Penny, which is the German discounter here, and so it's manageable for sure. And getting a working student job is also very yeah in reach. A lot of people are doing it from the first semester on, so don't be scared to also apply for that or search for one. And I would say if you're planning to do it at a big German company, or a corporation, they always want German speakers, from what I heard now. But here in Berlin, there are so many startups that pay good money and don't necessarily need you to speak German. So I would look out for that, or just from your own country and look for a working student job that that you can do remote, and then you can just do it from here. That's also what some people are doing. But it's definitely a good choice, and you should definitely do that. Don't be afraid or anything. You will manage for sure. And how is it? Okay, how easy is it to find halal food? It's very easy. Berlin has a big Muslim community, mainly Turkish speaking people. Yeah, we have a history of people coming here to work, and so the community is very big, very versatile, I would say, and you will not have any difficulties to pursue your religion here. And I would suggest to go to Kreuzberg or Neukölln as a living place, because there's the biggest communities, or the biggest community is in these places. And yeah, so you will not have any problems with finding something that's good for you, for sure.
Yeah, and I want to answer the question about according to the how diverse the master program are, including the African students. I would say not every program has African students, but each year of our program we have African students. So that's what we have right now. And according to GRE or GMAT, I would say it depends on your current curriculum, and there could be the possibility that you can waive them. So I think John had waive it. So yeah, this is quite possible if you negotiate with the MSc office, and they would tell you like you can connect to them, reach out to them to confirm that if you need those GMAT, GRE or not. And also, according to the internship part, it's on the first year. First year we start in September, and it's on the from April to September. So we start this program last year, September, and we're going to do our internship this year from April to September, 6 months. And the minimum requirement is 3 months. So you can also do 3 months. But ideally, I advise you to do a 6 months one, or you can do two, 3 months one. That actually depends on you. Yeah.
We are a bit running out of time. We also need to go. So the only questions that are left, we'll just answer those, and we'll just go with that. You managed to get the last question just in time. So I'll say there's a lot of Indian students in general, like across the different cohorts. And so yeah, there's a pretty strong community of Indian students here. There's at least small to medium-sized community for every single ethnicity, more or less. Here is a very, very diverse environment. Like it's not just big, even though it's a European business school. I'd say at least half the students are not from like EU, more or less. And about the Valley. So how the internships work is like the university helps you get the internship, but in the end, it is like you're the one that chooses basically where you want to go. It's not like not forced. So if you want to do an internship at Valley, even if you're not from MAAI program, if you talk to Barris, if you talk to the Valley staff, and they have a position open for you, and then yeah, you can do it. It's not like limited like that. So yeah.
Perfect. And then, so yeah, we're mainly using Python and R. You don't need anything else, particularly. And yeah, so we have, as I said, DataCamp as a software. Then you get access to Tableau, but everything else is then you get also access to all the Financial Times, Harvard Business Review, so those resources. But other than that, we don't you don't get anything because you don't need anything else. You do everything in R and Python, and they will provide the data sets and everything else. And if there's if you need something else like an API call or something, they will show you the resources where you can find that, and then you can just create a free account, and they will teach you how to get to your data, how to get to your resources yourself. Other than Python and R, you don't need anything else.
I mean, we do have, for when it comes to data sets, we also do have a Bloomberg terminal. So that's like quite a lot of information if you need it there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, I hope everything is possible to get into with low GPA English. It depends on how what else you did, if you can convey your your motivation, and then you have to see how it goes. Actually, it's yeah.
I mean, also on competition, it depends on
Yeah.
the competition.
Sure.
Because, yeah.
I think
and we'll really quickly because we are running out of time, we'll really quickly share
Can
our
you
contact
show the
information. If you want to
mail?
contact us
Yeah.
further, you can get in touch with us here because yeah, the time for our Q&A session has run out. So if anybody wants to just like take a picture or something and just reach out to us on our email.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be closing this down in 3, 2, 1. Hope you got the taking a screenshot in time. And yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Perfect. And if there's any questions, just let us know. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.